What's up, guys? So today I wanted to play a game which I haven't done in a little bit. So we are playing Winds of Change. The story and games by Clace, art by Faye Varas and Chase Emilio, music by Foxamore and Joel Stuldler. I don't want to butcher the names, but I probably just did. So let's go to a new game. Enjoy your adventure and choose wisely in the world of Alestia, where the spirits reign supreme.
The rebellion is in shambles. With the recent loss of their leader, they are struggling. But this defeat was not without a victory of its own. For in his final moments, he secured an artifact of great importance. This blade was paramount to the Triumvirate's leadership of Alestia. And without it, their tyrannical grip on the people would surely falter. Having no choice, they give their Grand Inquisitor one simple order. Destroy the rebellion and retrieve the lost blade of the Triumvirate. But Dormek, the new leader of the rebels, has set other plans in motion. Hiding the blade in Valinor, he is confident that it will be protected. This sheltered hamlet is now custodian to the weapon that would liberate the world. And so, it would be met with a gruesome fate by the Triumvirate and their Grand Inquisitor.
So far, I had to click it. I really like the art style. Use enter. Okay. Everything is burning. Oh, everything's burning. I can do little to stop it from spreading. An immense pain assaults my head, and I throw my face into my hands. The same question repeatedly plays in my mind. What am I doing here? I have no knowledge of what happened up until this point. My brain is struggling to find the blanks. My brain is struggling to fill in the blanks, not gaining any headway. It was almost like, till this exact moment, I never existed. That's why, is it now that cognition has found me? Was there something I could do to put out these flames? Or perhaps was I the cause of this inferno to begin with? A foolish thought, and one I throw away. If I was responsible, then I couldn't feel this sense of dread. Oh, if I was responsible, then I wouldn't feel this sense of dread, an emotion shared by those who stand beside me.
Come on, pick up the pace. If we waste any more time, we won't make it out alive. There's no way the Elder would let me live that one down.
Wow, voice actors don't have to read more. I feel like she's escorting me, and I should follow her. Could it be that she's tasked with my protection? I grasp at the straws that are the memories in my mind. I'm only able to latch onto one. It's the title that I go by.
Are you even paying attention?
Seer sounds cooler. I'm just saying.
I know who you are, Seer. Did you hit your head or something?
She scoffs as she turns the other way. But I know she's right. I'm not taking this seriously. It feels like a dream, and I doubt that it's all happening. A few moments later, a sudden sensation startles me. There's a firm grip on my shoulder. We aren't alone. Underneath a veil of fright, I turn to greet the second stranger.
Valessa has our safety in mind, okay? Forgive her hot-headedness for me. Freedom isn't too much farther. We need to stay calm and think this through. Two guys like us, we should have no problem. We'll be safe and sound before you know it.
We weave through the houses and alleys to remain unseen. Doing our best to be completely silent, we bring no attention to ourselves. The flames encourage our urgency. but we're careful not to be fast or reckless. Silence makes everything else more prominent, however. The screams of those being slaughtered fill me with the feeling of disgust. We need to find cover, and Valessa points out a small alcove waiting nearby.
Look, they're dying because they panicked. We need to stay calm and think through this together. If we freak out, we'll only end up like them, you know?
She has a point. Our first instinct was to run, but so was theirs. We should let them face the brunt of this attack.
I don't want to do the sad one. Good idea, let them soak it up for us. There has to be another way to do it. I think we should just do happy, you know? Just be... I don't know. Yeah. Good idea. Let them soak it up for us.
Good to know we're on the same page. It'd be foolish to try taking them on alone.
But that means you're using them as pawns, Ulrich. I can't let you do that to the people of Valinor.
Do you have any better ideas? If we try to save them all, we'll die. I'm here to protect you two, not kill you.
My suspicions are correct. Ulrich is the one protecting us. But why exactly are we a higher priority than the civilians? I venture a guess that we're currently in this Valinor. The pain in my head pulses again, and I stumble back. As I let out a groan, Ulrich rushes over to my side. His exaggeration concerns is now understandable.
It must be the smoke. Make sure to sit down. The lower you are right now, the better. Are you having trouble breathing?
I shake my head and let him know it's not the smoke. This causes Valessa to chime in, voicing her concerns as well.
Yeah, something else is going on here. He's been acting strange for a while now. Is there something you need to tell us?
Did some debris fall on your head back there? I'm starting to side with Valessa on this one. Come on, time to gear you up.
He steps away for a few moments and inspects the ground around him. There's a brief period where I can't see him, but he returns with a blade. The fire causes it to glisten, almost like it's begging for me to take it.
I don't care what's going on in that head of yours, but it's not more important than your survival. We're all overwhelmed. It's not just you.
He holds out the blade, expecting my compliance. At this rate, it seems like fighting may be inevitable.
Take it. We won't be standing here forever. As soon as we leave this alcove, we'll be vulnerable. I can't take care of you all the time, you know.
I don't want to do sad because then that's just depressing. There's no use in being sad. So if I just be aggressive, of course, I'll defend myself as well.
Now that's what I like to hear. I'll feel better if you have something to fight with. Valessa has her daggers, but you had nothing.
I grab the blade and swing it a couple times, testing its weight. It seems good enough for me. I wouldn't have any problems using it. Though, it was a far cry from the massive blade that Ulrich carried.
Now then, it's time to move. Seems like some of the noise has finally died down. We should start by investigating the town square.
He walks off, expecting us to follow along, but as I am about to take a step, Valessa grabs my arm. The look on her face tells me something is wrong.
You're confused about all this, right? I bet you don't even know what being the seer means, or how we've known each other for our entire lives.
I look at the ground in both shame and confusion. She's completely right. My head is a mess. As I try to think of an excuse, her response surprises me.
That's normal, but please listen. We only have a few moments before Ulrich notices we're not there. The seer is special. You wield spirits to induce prophetic visions. When you have these visions, you're unable to remember anything. When you wake up, you'll dismiss it as a dream and forget it ever happened. As your scribe, it's my job to help you take advantage of this. We have to follow Ulrich now, but know one thing. The way you're acting, I'm certain this is a vision. That means you can use it for information.
She takes a few steps closer to me and grabs my hands. Staring right into my eyes, I notice a glimmer of hope shining within her.
I'm relieved. This means Valinor is still fine. When you wake up, use this vision to save everyone. It's your duty as seer to ensure this doesn't become real.
She lets go of my hands and follows after Ulrich. Though it's hard to believe what she said, I'm less confused. I finally had a reason for why I felt so disconnected. But if this was a vision, then what would become of Ulrich and Valessa? Would all of this carnage be undone as soon as I woke up? What if they died? Or what if I died in the vision? I follow after Valessa, realizing I might never know, but a faint sense of determination rises up within me. If there was a chance I could stop this, I had to do it. In the present day, the Triumvirate conspires with their Grand Inquisitor. For the events that led up to Valinorth's destruction had yet to be set in motion. Savi knelt before his master, more eager to serve than he had ever been before.
Rise, Sophie, but please assure us of your certainty. We hate to act without knowing everything.
The prisoner mentions Valinorth over and over. The rebels are hiding something of importance there. Along with recent events, we can only surmise one thing.
The Blade of Exodus.
I am almost certain. But if that's where they've chosen to hide it, it means that our other target is also there.
Your compliance pleases us, Sophie. Your plan was risky, but it worked out in the end. A final intent.
You'd have me interrogate the prisoner once more. If I may be so bold, to what end do you request this?
Not you, Sophie. We want your apprentice to do this. It is time for him to prove his worth.
Their voices echoed loudly through the darkening chambers. It mattered not which Triumvir spoke, for they were all of one mind. With a clear irritation in his voice, Sovi did his best to stay calm.
My apprentice? I've told you many times I want to work alone. It would be more efficient for me to do this myself.
Insubordination? This is unbecoming of you, Sophie. We demand that you obey. The role of Grand Inquisitor can be very dangerous. If we were to lose you, a replacement would be necessary. You must train this replacement while you still breathe.
As you command.
Sovi turned his back to the Triumvirate and spotted his apprentice. He was standing by the door listening to their conversation. If he'd heard of Sovi's distaste for him, he showed no concern.
Interrogation? And what would you have me extract? I thought the prisoner was at his wit's end.
Anything to confirm our suspicions about Valinorth. If you fail, I will not hesitate to punish you. Remember what we're on the verge of.
I understand, Master. I'll do my best to get you what you need. What are the limits when it comes to my approach?
Keep him alive, Halem. I find that psychological pain is the most valid approach. He cares more for his rebel allies than he does for himself.
Then I will threaten the rebellion's very core. I'm grateful to have this opportunity, Master. Things are starting to line up well for me.
They tend to do that when you have the Triumvirate's blessing. We should take care of this immediately and catch them unprepared. Every moment we waste is a moment they gain, Halen.
They leave the room together, talking amongst themselves. The triumvirate waits until they're gone before speaking, a faint smile on their faces as age-old plans come to fruition.
So it's finally going to happen, isn't it? What we've been waiting for all these years. Do you think we should tell Sophie our true plan?
Halen entered the prison cell without Sophie at his side. His master remained outside as a pseudo-display of trust. But it was evident to Halen that no trust existed. The prisoners looked up, surprised to see a different face. Yet within him was still a slowly dwindling hope. Cut off from the rebellion, these would be his final days.
So, someone different has finally come. What are you, the executioner or something? I figured it was only a matter of time.
Actually, Sophie said to keep you alive. You seem to underestimate your value, Shane.
You think I'm important? That's not what I expected to hear.
Don't take it the wrong way. You must not know what I meant.
He knelt down in front of the prisoner. With a sinister smirk, he tried to intimidate Shane.
You're important as a bargaining chip. And the fact I must keep you alive is a curse. When I'm through with you, you'll beg for death. You see, I'm different from Sophie. He's past the bar. They no longer need to test him. But I'm in the position where results must happen. When we give you back, you'll be a broken man. And soon after, the foundation of the rebellion will crumble. You think we don't know that Damek is your leader?
What?
Shane's eyes shot wide open in utter shock. It seems that Halen's threats worked in great effect.
You'd be stupid not to think we have inside men. I could order Damek's execution in a matter of seconds. You don't value your life. But you value his. Good. Now, I expect you to answer my questions. The Blade of Exodus, is it in Valinor Village? And the one who can wield it, do they live there as well?
By the time we catch up with Ulrich, it's already too late. His large blade is in deadlock with one of the enemy soldiers. Melissa draws her daggers, and I hold out my sword ready.
We order you to cease your resistance! Those who support the rebellion must perish!
To break the deadlock, Ulrich kicks his opponent in the gut. They stumble back and ready their blade with a flourish. It isn't much longer until they charge toward him again.
Valessa, your dagger!
Ulrich jumps out of the way and rolls towards us. Landing on his knees, he pries one of the daggers from her grip. Without even looking, he throws it behind himself. He closes his eyes and looks down at the ground. When he hears the impact of the dagger, his ears fold back. For a moment, it looks like he's actually sad.
Spirits, please forgive my misdeeds. I acted only to protect those under my watch.
Ulrich cares about the spirits? For some reason, I didn't expect that. But before I can think about this further, something happens. Catching Valessa and I off guard, we're in complete disbelief.
Huh?
He notices the shocked expression on both of our faces. Rising to his feet, it's not long before he wears the same look. The enemy soldier fell, as expected, but there was nothing inside. Scattered pieces of armor littered the ground. As we process this revelation, confusion soon assails us. There was no ordinary attack. What we just saw was impossible.
What's going on? Ulrich, what are those things?
I don't know. Come closer, you two. This doesn't feel right. Empty suits of armor with a hatred for the rebellion?
Only those who've mastered the spirits could do this. I'm afraid this is much larger than we thought.
That can't be true. The spirits are pure. They aid us.
Yeah, sure looks like they wanted to help. That's not my only concern, though. Look at this.
She scoffs as she steps toward the helmet. Kneeling down, she pulls her dagger out of it.
Do you recognize these colors, Ulrich?
No, why would I?
Gold and white. The triumvirate standard. I would have never made such a deduction, but only they could wield the spirits in this fashion.
Well, we already know what the triumvirate is. But why would they do such a thing?
That's what I'd like to know. They're supposed to be our protectors. Some people even think they created Alestia.
Wouldn't be the first time they attempted occupation. They hinted that the rebellion was involved here. Valessa, do you know anything about that?
I don't. So much has changed lately. With our last elder gone, Miles has been in charge. Maybe he has something to tell us.
It's worth a shot. We should see if he's alive. Protecting you is my goal, but now I want answers. If anyone knows about this, it would be him.
To the elder's house, then.
Yeah.
I follow after Valessa and Ulrich. We walk along the circular road surrounding the water tank. Make a note of it later. It might help us put out the flames. More suits of armor litter the ground. There's so many of them. Makes me feel a bit hopeful, like we stood a chance. The village wasn't defenseless, and this was proof.
Aren't you glad we waited now? If we rushed in head first, we'd be dead.
Then where are the villagers' bodies? I only see the suits of armor lying around.
That was a good question, actually. No blood, no signs of major struggle. Only the fire and the glistening of the white armor.
That's a good sign. Then they won and fled to safety. Are there any havens in Valenorth?
I'd say the elder's house and the Grand Tree. The fire may not have reached either yet.
Wait. How many people can fit in the Grand Tree?
Hundreds, easily.
Not as good of a sign as I thought. The enemy could be trying to round everyone up. Put them all in one place before killing them.
That's dirty.
But it works. We still don't know what they're after. It can't be genocide. It must be something else. Does Valenorth have anything the Triumvirate would want? Did the change in leadership bring anything with it?
Like I said, we'd have to talk to Milos. But I doubt he'd be at the Grand Tree.
They look at each other, and then look at me. I could tell that the Valessa was pushing us towards Milos. But that's because she knew this was a vision.
But what if there are people in the Grand Tree? Is Milos more important than all of them? It would be cold to let everyone die.
Ulrich, this is larger than Valenorth. Especially if it involves the rebellion. Information could save entire villages.
I don't like what you're suggesting.
Like it's any better than what you suggested? Using the people as pawns to buy us time? How is this any different?
They fume at each other, but realize it's a stupid argument. In the midst of the battle, nothing was so black and white. Though I find it odd that Ulrich switched viewpoints so fast.
This is a matter of Valenorth's future. Such things are under the jurisdiction of the Seer. I stand by his side, and you stand by both of ours. That is, unless you want to abandon your job. But that wouldn't look good on your perfect record.
I guess you can fight dirty too. I don't like this, but you have me by the throat. I can only hope that you make the right choice.
He stares at me with a serious look on his face. Talk about putting me on the spot. But if this was my role, I had to fill the shoes.
What are we going to do?
Well, if we focus on the lives, then we won't have enough information and we might not have everything, to go through with it. But if we go get the information, then we'll have everything we really need to know about it and how to, defeat whatever's happening. But it, costs some lives. But it's fine. Let's focus on information and go after Milas. I vowed to stop his attack, and I needed information. Anyone could give us that information, it would be Milas. He'd be able to shed light on the rebellion's involvement too.
Good. We're on the same page. We can use that information to help others. It would be selfish to focus only on Valinor.
I hope you two are certain about this. You're gambling with hundreds of lives.
Ulrich didn't understand this like we did, and we weren't about to waste time lecturing him. I was grateful that his job required following us. We continued in the same direction, heading to Milas' house. It didn't feel good to abandon others, but we had to do it. This was real. I'd use the future to cheat the present. So, that is going to be it for this episode, or I guess this video of Winds of Change. If you enjoyed this kind of like story thing, please comment that you did like it, because it helps me to find out what you guys like. And with that being said, please like the video if you liked it. Share it to anyone who, who would think that they would want to play this game. This is like, I guess, a review or something. And lastly, subscribe to the channel, if you haven't already. Share it to everyone you know. Like it if you did. Comment what you want next, or if you want more of this. Follow me on my Instagram at acrush.cookie. Follow me on my Twitter at tbcafe1. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Buckle your pants.
Hit it! Buckle your pants, buckle your pants. Pull up your socks and dance. Buckle your pants. Buckle your pants. Buckle your pants, buckle your pants. Hey, I said dance.